Having the mirrors lined up like this, does this create a portal? Does it help you? Make connection. Okay, good. Okay, this is Johanna from Travelers Paranormal. I'm going to be doing the next challenge in the Paragame challenge series. This is Pandora's box. So my setup is I've got 4 mirrors. I'm in a closet. I've got a mirror on each side. I've got 2 candles. And I'm going to spend 3 minutes looking at each mirror with my S-box playing. So I'll start the timer and throw up the S-box. So this is the Pandora's box challenge. So timer started. And S-box started. Is there anybody here with me? I have some mirrors here. Does that help you communicate? It does? Last time you said with the mirror you can see. Can you see me? I've got some candles lit. I think it said we are here. Who's here? Can you tell me your name? My name is Johanna. Did you say hi there? Can you tell me your name? That was the same voice. Maybe 2 or 3 syllables. I'm hearing several voices. Does the mirrors lined up help you? Does it give you energy? Or a better way to communicate? How long have you been here? I think it said been years. Do you know what year it is? This is a very small closet. Are you in the closet with me? Or are you looking through the mirror? There's my timer. I'm going to turn to face a different mirror. So, I want to be careful because it's a very small closet. This mirror is on the ground. Alright, there we go. So, hopefully you either see me or you see a candle. So I think you said it's been years. And then I asked if you're in the closet or are you looking through a mirror? Can you tell me if you're looking through the mirror? Having the mirrors lined up like this, does this create a portal? Does it help you? Make connection. Okay, good. Do you want to make a connection or do you want to be left alone? It's a yes? That was two different voices. How many of you are there? I think it said 7, I'm not sure. When you come here, do you just pass through or do you stay for a while? Okay, my recorder has turned off. I've got it back on. I think I need another minute on this side. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Pay attention. Did you turn my camera off? What do you want me to pay attention to? Did you turn my camera off? I'm paying attention. What do you want to tell me? I can't really tell where my camera is looking, so I do hope that either myself or the candles are in this shot. Do you have a message that you want to give? Alright. That's my timer going off. So I'm going to turn to the other camera, the other mirror. I really don't have a lot of space here. And the two candles are not helping. Alright, so while I get myself situated at this mirror, oh god, I'm old. Alright. I'm looking at my third mirror. Kind of what's cool is, so far the best answers I got was this low mirror, which is like an old, decrepit looking mirror. The person speaking, do you come from the mirror? Does the mirror Does a different mirror make a difference, or can you look through any mirror? I think it said, like, you believe. I believe that I can communicate with someone. I believe these mirrors may be helping. Do they help you communicate? I think it said promise me and then something else. I'm not really sure. But before it said pay attention. So, pay attention and promise me. Is there a message that you're trying to give to me? That was a female voice. A lot of these voices have been male. The female voice, can you tell me your name? I think it says speak. I've gotten that before. Is there someone that wants to speak but you're having a hard time? I think it said can't. Is there someone else that can speak for you? When I was a child, I was trying to do a seance to communicate with my grandfather, and I heard a woman's voice saying, speak to her, go on, it's okay, something along those lines. And then I felt like hands touching my head, and when I described it to my parents, it was the way my grandfather would put his hand on my head when I was a baby. And so we think the woman was my grandmother, kind of urging him to speak to me. So if you're having a hard time speaking, maybe there's someone else that can speak for you. I'm going to start my timer on the next mirror. Is there someone who can speak for you? Maybe someone can help the person that's trying to give a message? Two syllables. I think it actually said, hey you. You have my attention. I am listening. Is there something I can help you with or something I can do for you? I definitely feel like there's someone who wants to communicate. Can I help you? Is there any way I can help you? So once again, my camera turned off on me, and like I have it plugged into a battery backup, so it's not just the battery of the camera, it's the backup that's powering it. So when my timer goes off, I'm going to keep going for a little bit, because it keeps shutting off. I don't know how much time I've lost. Like I said, I think there's someone who wants to communicate. Is there anything else I can do to help you communicate? Is there a different method you want to communicate with? Something about a light. I've tried to use the candles before to communicate, to see if you could blow the flame one way for yes or another way for no. Do you want to try that? I think it said, I don't know. He said, pay attention and promise me. What do you want me to pay attention to? What is your message? Four syllables, maybe. I'm going to let this run for a little bit, because I don't know how much time I lost. Maybe just another minute. I've only got about another minute. Can you please try and tell me your message? It's this. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you say my name? Johanna. Okay. All right. I am out of time, so I'm going to turn this off. Megan is going to come do her challenge, and I'm going to try and see if I can get a different battery backup or something and see if I can try and keep the camera from turning off on her. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I think that I've hit 3 minutes. Lower that. I think that I hit 3 minutes on each mirror. It is hard to tell because I don't know how much time was lost between the camera turning on and off. But hopefully, hopefully I had something in view for you to see. And two, hopefully I've had long enough. This is Johanna from Travelers Paranormal. I am completing Pandora's Box Paragames Challenge. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, What the Paranormal, for coming up with a different, interesting challenge every single week. I wanted to talk about mirrors creating portals, and I was asking if it was creating it, but there's a lot of different theories and behind communication, behind mirrors, and what it does having a room like this so small with 4 different mirrors, kind of a little bit reflecting off of each other. I don't get too much of an infinity effect. I think the room might be too small and the mirror's not quite lined up too well. That's just the kind of mirrors that I have. I notice the camera's not having any trouble right now. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Alright, hi. So this is Megan from Travelers Paranormal, and I am doing Challenge 15 of the Paragames, which is the Pandora's Box Challenge. The Paragames is sponsored by What the Paranormal, and each week they come up with different challenges to kind of explore and grow our investigative techniques. And so right now we're doing, like I said, the Pandora's Box Challenge. So what we're doing is we are inside of a closet, and I have 4 mirrors. And so you can see there's 1, 2, 3 behind me, and then the 4th one. 2 candles, 1 and 2, and I have my S box. And so what the challenge is to spend 3 minutes at least each mirror and investigate and see what we get. And I have my S box, which I'm going to put the volume up on, and a timer. That sounded like it said peekaboo. Is there someone in the mirrors watching me? Can you see me? My name is Megan. Can I ask who I'm talking to? Sound like it said we are here and 7. Are there 7 others in this closet with me? How many entities are in this closet right now? Sound like it said more than you. Speak up. Can you hear me? So with this challenge being Pandora's box, the myth of Pandora, it's from Greek myth, and it kind of gets traced back to Prometheus. In a lot of different cultures and a lot of different myths, at one point there's 2 competing sets of gods, the old gods and the new. For the Greeks, the old gods were the Titans, and the new gods were Zeus and the Olympians. And Prometheus is actually a Titan, he and his younger brother, but he sided with Zeus, and his name means forethought, and so he's thought to have visions of the future, and he is clever, and he sided with the new gods, though. And in different cultures, different myths, there are a few of the old gods who do side with the new ones, and so continue through. But so after helping Zeus defeat the Titans, Prometheus created man. And his brother, Epimetheus, created all the other animals, and he was supposed to give attributes to everything, but his name is basically Afterthought, and he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing, and he ran out of gifts by the time he got to man. But it's okay, because Prometheus was really the one taking care of us. Anyway, so Prometheus created man, but he wanted more for man than we had. Basically, this is the Bronze Age, and man only existed to serve Zeus. It was an easy life, but you existed to serve Zeus. And Prometheus wanted man to have some kind of self-rule, self-sense, and so that's my timer. My timer, so I'm going to look at another mirror because no one really talked to me in this mirror. So hopefully the next mirror will have some more interaction. Is there anyone here? heard it say peekaboo again. Is there someone in the mirror? Can you see me? If I put my hand to the mirror, can you put your hands and match mine? Anyway, Prometheus wanted more for man, so he tricked Zeus. Man was always working and sacrificing animals to Zeus. Prometheus set up two different choices for Zeus. One was bare bones wrapped in glistening fat, and the other was all of the choice meats wrapped in the hide in the stomach. And so the bones looked more appetizing. So Zeus chose the bones, which is what Prometheus expected him to do. And then when Zeus realized he'd been tricked, he was very angry, but going forward, people were now doing the sacrifices the way Zeus had chosen. And so they were keeping the meat for themselves. Telling it said bones. They were keeping the meat for themselves, and they were giving the bones to Zeus. So Zeus was angry about this. As a punishment to Prometheus, he didn't punish Prometheus directly, but he punished man, and he took away fire. So Prometheus stole fire and gave it back to man. And along with fire, the myths are, civilization, artifacts, crafting, creativity, science, technology, everything like that goes into fire. And so Prometheus stole that and gave it back to man. And then Zeus was very angry. And so he punished Prometheus, but part of his punishment was that he was also going to punish man. And so what he did is he had Hephaestus create Pandora out of clay. And all of the gods gave her different gifts, but they were double-edged gifts. For instance, Hermes taught her to speak, but he also taught her to lie. Hera gave her curiosity, and if you know the story of Pandora's box, that's the downfall. But so Zeus presents her to Epimetheus, Prometheus' brother, and says that she is a gift to him to show that even though Prometheus was punished, there's no hard feelings. And Prometheus had previously warned Epimetheus never to accept a gift from Zeus, but Epimetheus did. And doubly, because Zeus is tricky like this, Zeus had given, and I'm just going to stop for a second, because this mirror that I'm now facing, this mirror is this old, it's a round mirror, it's faded in some parts. What is this? This is a mirror. Is this your mirror? Anyway, I don't know the history of this mirror, but so this mirror is the one that Johanna said when she was facing it, she was getting voices. And actually, putting my hand up against it now. So, is there anyone here attached to this mirror that would like to speak to me? And so I think in this mirror, if I take it up enough, I've actually got the mirror behind me that I looked in first. Double. Yes, I've got that mirror reflected in this. It's like a double. When Joe and I were talking about this challenge, we were like, well, what is it? Because 2 mirrors is a portal, can be a portal. 3 mirrors can create a vortex. We're like, it's 4 mirrors. What is it? And so then we were like, it's a twin portal. Because basically I'm standing in the cross path of 2 mirrors that are facing each other. So I'm where these 2 potential portals could meet. Anyway, Prometheus had warned Epimetheus never to accept gifts, but Epimetheus did. On their wedding day, Hermes gave Pandora her box. And the box is interesting too, talking about doubles. So box is a mistranslation, it's a jar. And the word that it was used is a specific kind of jar, and it was used for storing things like grain and oils and stuff. And it was also used in some funeral rites where the body would be placed inside of this jar and then buried. The lid would be put on it tight so that the soul could not escape and wander. And so the duality of the jar as both a storage vessel and a prison, basically, to keep that soul with the body, is interesting to the Pandora story. I'm going to give, I didn't turn right away, so I'm going to give this mirror a little bit longer. Also, I'm hoping that something comes through. I'm listening for it. The Xbox is here, right next to my head, so I'm listening for something. I'm listening for something, but I haven't really heard anything yet. But I want to give this mirror a little bit more time. They give her this, Hermes gives her this. That was just 3 voices. Hi, my name is Megan. May I ask your name? Steven? Sounded like it was like woman, and then one more syllable, but I couldn't understand it. I didn't hear that. Can you repeat it? By the way, this story is also the creation of woman, because before Pandora, the human race was just men. That looks like fingerprints on the mirror, but again, I've touched it, Johanna might have touched it. Hermes passed this box on, the jar on, to Pandora and said it was a gift from Zeus, but she couldn't open it. Zeus was known to have kept, we get told by Babrius, who is the poet who wrote what's known as Aesop's Fables, or a poet who contributed to Aesop's Fables. He says that Zeus kept 2 jars. And one had all the good things in the world, and one had all the bad things in the world. And so we know that she's given a jar. We don't know exactly which jar it is. Well, we do, but we don't. Anyway, she's told never to open it. And finally, she does open it because she is curious. Thank you, Hera. It sounded like I said you're welcome. She opens it and she releases all the bad things. Sickness, plague, death, war, strife, toil. She releases everything into the world. And she panics and she tries to close it. And when she finally does, there's just one thing left in the jar, and that is hope. And so then we come, and I'm going to change the other mirror now, we come to some of the problems of, someone said, uh-oh. Are you enjoying the story? My rambling story? Sound like it said keep going. This is where we come to some problems with the Pandora myth, and just like the jar is both a storage vessel and a prison vessel for grains or for a body. I said prison? We get to the question of, if all of the evil things were in there, sounds like it was a prison, it had to be opened for them to get out. Now hope is inside, and usually when the myth gets told, it's like, oh yay, hope stayed and didn't get out, and, you know, so we still have hope even though we've got at least this one good thing out of this jar. But if it was a prison before, wouldn't it be a prison still? And so then hope would be trapped in there, unable to come out. Instead, he can't get out. So hope would be prisoned in there, and it wouldn't really be able to help us. Translation is important. Kind of like with the Krampus video, I was talking about, I kept seeing the etymology linking Krampus to claw, but I didn't find that. I found it to cramp, secret, hidden, and that kind of made sense from some of my research. So hope in this case, the Greek word, is actually better translated as expectation. And it's used both ways in Greek writings as expectation of good or expectation of bad. And so basically it could be both optimism or pessimism. Kind of like this jar could be both storage and protection or prison and entrapment. And so the question is, was this hope that was stuck in there, maybe it wasn't evil, and it was Zeus's will that it remain there. And I feel like that's kind of a Zeus thing to do, to not have stopped it, to be like, oh, but man can still hope, but to have stopped it as a threat and be like, this could be so much worse, because that pessimism would not just be regular pessimism, but it would be like soul-crushing depression. It would be the expectation of only bad things to come. And then that kind of expectation makes sense to be in the jar of all the evils. And we can still be glad it does. Yes, it does. We can be glad that Pandora managed to close it before that escaped. And Zeus would want us to be thankful that he allowed her to close it before he escaped. That's the same with Zeus. Some of the other different gods. This is all for the will of Zeus. And actually, Pandora's story continues because she has a daughter with Epimetheus. Epimetheus is Prometheus' foolish brother. He is. I mentioned him before. Pandora has a daughter with her named Pyrrha, or Fire, and Pyrrha marries Deucalion, who is actually Prometheus' son. And eventually Zeus decides, you know what, this world is too crazy, and they have a flood myth, as is found in so many different myths. And they have this flood myth. I'm going to go back to this mirror again, because I was hoping something would talk to me. They have a flood myth where Zeus is like, the world is too evil, I'm going to destroy it. But the world is evil because he gave Pandora this jar that he always meant her to open to release the evils into it, and yet he destroys the world because of all the evils. And it's always Zeus's will that's being followed. and he just punishes people anyway. But Pyrrha and Deucalion survive the flood, and Pyrrha ends up taking the bones of Pandora, and from her bones, making the entire rest of the race of man and woman now. Remember, Pandora was the first woman. And so Pandora actually ends up being, she was made out of clay, so she is kind of an earth goddess, and she ends up being the mother of all humankind. That sounded like, hello? It sounded like a weird, like, hello? Hello, my name is Megan. I am way over time on this challenge, but I was really hoping something would talk to me from this mirror, like Johanna said she was getting. Oh, that was weird. That sounded like a really weird laugh. Is there someone laughing? Well, I think it said turn around. Which way do you want me to turn? Which mirror? Can you knock from the wall where the mirror that you are in is? I can. Please do. Alright, so anyway, the Pandora story. I am way over time. The Pandora story is very interesting. It's more than just what people usually think of with it. It brings up questions of I those like 3 syllables and I'm just trying to make sense of it. It sounds to me like it said interesting. But it's an existential story. It's a question as to, it's kind of like Adam and Eve. It's a question of, we have these evils in the world, but before that we lived in blissful ignorance just to serve Zeus. Was maybe the gift of fire, and with fire, science, technology, knowledge, the ability to progress beyond just being menial servants. Is that worth? Is that a worthwhile trade to have to suffer and be able to advance, or just be stuck and happy with your life in blissful ignorance? There's a book that I read a long time ago in college. It's called All the King's Men by Robert Penn Warren, and there's this Warren. Yes, and actually he's from near here. But anyway, we've been to his house. It's got a passage in it that talks about a need to open an envelope. The character isn't sure he wants to know the message that's in the envelope, but he needs to because he needs to know. Like I said, it's an existential question. Is what's the purpose of our existence? And for those of us who do this paranormal investigation, you know, we are seeking knowledge. We're all seeking knowledge. And that's why we do this. So I think, you know, we risk whatever we might risk in order to learn what might be out there. So I think for us, that answers our question as to whether or not we think it was worth it. It does. It does. All right. I'm going to close this. This has been fun, though, whoever has started talking to me at the end. But again, so you get this mirror. This mirror which is face level. You can't really see me. But this is Megan from Travelers Paranormal, completing the Pandora challenge of the Paragames, which is sponsored by What the Paranormal. Thank you guys very much for giving us these challenges each week, and I look forward to the next challenge. That was that weird laugh again.